Welcome to another episode of Sips and Screams, where twin sister horror movie fanatics sip themed cocktails and discuss our favorites in the genre. Today, we are going all the way back to 1997, that is, to discuss the OG, I Know What You Did Last Summer, written by Kevin Williamson of Dawson's Creek and Scream fame, and directed by Jim Gillespie. And it really starred just peak 90s icons. We have Jennifer Love Hewitt, the Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., Ryan Philippe, or Philippe, I don't really know how to pronounce it, and Anne Heche. There's even a little role in there played by Johnny Galecki, most famous, of course, for playing Rusty, right? In Christmas Vacation.
100%. That's his base role.
That's it. This movie, well, it had to follow in Scream's shadow, but it had its own cult following. It made all of us a little uneasy about quaint fishing towns. Jaws did it first, but this definitely followed it up. It also made us uneasy of raincoats, driving at night, and of course, having our hair chopped off in the middle of the night. It brought us so much and really launched yet another horror franchise that has just recently been rebooted. We are so excited to get to it and unpack all the twists and turns of this horror classic. I'm Ashley, and joining me today, as always, is my twin sister, Allie. Allie, how are you? Ready to talk about hooks?
Yes, you know I'm ready to talk about
fishing,
hooks,
boats,
fishing, all of it, Ash. We're dressed for the occasion today as well. I mean, we are channeling Ray. Ray, I guess. That sweater. And I got to say, we've been posting some visual clues of the movies that we are going to do. And this, we did a really tough one this time, but someone did actually get it. And it was a zoomed in shot of Ray's fisherman sweater, knitted fishing sweater. Who wore it better? Because Ray had one, Barry, Ryan Philippe's character had one at one point. Yeah.
You know, and I will say I did watch the reboot, and those fishing sweaters are out in full force again.
Oh, they have.
So, I haven't seen it yet, Ash. So no spoilers. No spoilers.
Apologies, everyone. We will not be talking about the reboot.
No,
because I have not yet seen it. But
only the original. This is it.
No sequel. Nothing. Just the
no sequel. No, we're not getting into Brandy and the sequel. This is it. We're talking about the OG.
We are not getting into it.
We are not. As always, you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Our handle is at Sips and Screams Pod. Feel free to email us, sipsandscreams.podcast@gmail.com. And we are absolutely everywhere where you get your podcasts. And if you do listen, please rate, subscribe, like, all those things. And we would love it if you would leave us a review. Okay, it's that time again. What time is it, Allie?
Oh, it is killer cocktail time.
I'm ready. I need a cocktail. Let's go.
So do I. And today, we thought we're doing a summer movie. I know we did last summer. We could have gone many different routes with this.
The summer movie.
What is better in the summer than a Spritz? Ash. So we're drinking white wine spritzers today.
Yes, absolutely. And the only reason it isn't Aperol is because somebody, not me, failed to get some Aperol. So we're doing white wine spritzers.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Aperol spritzers. But again, you know what? I dropped the ball on that. But I'm here. I'm ready. I'm getting into these spritzes. And I really don't think there's a better summer drink. I don't.
No, it is so refreshing.
Is there a better summer drink?
No, Aperol spritzes are pretty darn good. Very refreshing. So for me, I have a nice crisp, ice, obviously, a nice crisp New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. And then you know what I put? I put in like this poppy lemon lime soda. It's like a diet soda.
Flavored soda.
Yeah, and it's so good. Okay. It's so good. It gives it a little something extra.
Well, you know what I have in mind. Mine, of course, is a New Zealand Sauv Blanc, and topping that off with Topo Chico. I mean, there's nothing better. Of course, you can get lime Topo Chico now, but this is just plain Topo Chico, New Zealand Sauv Blanc, some ice, and it is delicious and refreshing.
I cannot find Topo Chico to save my life right now at the grocery store. It's always sold out.
They have it in Florida?
They have it in Florida.
We have an abundance here.
They have it, but everyone's drinking it. Like the plain one's really hard to find. They have the lime.
I wonder if Sips and Screams has anything to do with that, Ash.
I think so. I think you heard it here first. Everyone's running out from Tampa and getting that Topo Chico. Yeah. I mean, it is delicious. I don't blame them.
I mean, it's only a matter of time until a Topo Chico sponsorship. So again, we will be very excited. We will let everybody know the second that happens.
All right. We are moving on to Sips and Synopsis. So Allie, why don't you take it away and tell us about the plot of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Gladly, Ash. And like you said, we're going back so far. So has it really been 28 years?
I guess so.
It came out in 1997.
They talk a lot about it, like how long ago it was in the reboot, and I was counting it in my head. I'm like, wait, it's almost been 30 years. Yeah, this is insane.
This is insane. Because I remember it well. I remember seeing it in the theater. You know, I've seen it a few times back in the day. Upon rewatch, you know, it really brought you back, the nostalgia, everything. I mean, this is the time before cell phones were really a thing. I mean, internet was barely there. There was some email and whatnot, but it really takes you back to those kind of late 90s, and it's fantastic.
And just like those high school, like this was it, right?
No, it was
like Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
You know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like all of those. These were peak 90s stars that were in all of these. Party Five, right? They were in all of these shows.
But you know what's interesting, though, is that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Ryan Phillippe, like, you don't remember this, but there was a time when they weren't big stars.
Yeah.
Well, Freddie Prinze Jr., I wouldn't call him a big star, I guess, these days.
You're using that term loosely.
I am using it loosely. But this was before it was before Cruel Intentions. It was before She's All That. And so this was one of their first big roles, actually. Yeah. And so it's funny to think back and look back. And, you know, certainly there was some overacting in this movie, but when isn't there overacting in a horror movie? You know, kind of here for it, especially like the men. I feel like the men really overacted in this one.
Oh, and I mean, we'll get to it later. I mean, there's definitely some points where the women were as well.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like that was the direction, but you know, Kevin Williamson wrote it. It's a great movie, and it starts out. I love just like the beginning of it. I love the way this movie sets it up, and you see the cliffs, and it's really beautiful, right? It's really picturesque there. It's
idyllic,
and it's a small town in North Carolina.
Yeah, Southport, North Carolina,
fishing town. It's really beautiful. You've got the windy roads along the cliffs, and it really sets that tone from the very, very beginning. And we're introduced to, we see a man sitting on these cliffs. Looks a little depressed. You know, is he going to kill himself? I don't know.
A little bit,
drinking. Yeah. And then he turns around, he hears something in the woods, and then it cuts to the party. So it starts out with this, like, what the hell was that? And I love that about the movie. And then, you know, we go to, it's the pageant. It's the 4th of July weekend. There's a pageant happening.
Pageant.
Are the 4 friends. I know. And I feel like they did the whole thing in their bathing suits, right? I mean, I don't think they're not wearing like gowns or anything. Like the whole thing is in the bathing suits.
It's called Croaker. Right, the Croaker Queen? Croaker?
I believe so.
What?
Yeah.
What is the significance of that?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
It's not with the clam, because she rides that float with the clam. Is a croaker like a clam? Listeners, what's happening?
Why does it float with a clam? It's shaped like a clam?
She's in the clam. Yeah. She's like the pearl in the clam.
She is. Okay, well,
she's the croaker queen.
Okay, she's a croaker queen. But, you know, we're introduced to Helen, right? So she's in this beauty pageant.
Iconic.
Her 3 friends, that's Sarah Michelle Gellar's character. Her 3 friends, Jennifer Love Hewitt plays Julie. She's kind of the smart one, I guess, the studious one.
Yeah, she's the smart one.
She's very the smart one. She's the brunette. And then her boyfriend, Ray, who's, I guess, you know, the person that his family's a fisherman.
He's like the poor one, apparently, because they make that very clear.
Like, I guess the rest of them are rich and he is poor. He's not. And then Barry, played by Ryan Phillippe. And so they're up in the balcony. They're watching Helen win. She gets that crown. And then we cut to the after party, which is on some docks and bar. I mean, it looked fun. I'm not going to lie. That looked so fun.
I want to be at that party. They had a band.
So do I. Yes.
They're all just like hanging out. Johnny Galecki's there.
Johnny Galecki, speaking of, so Johnny
Galecki. Talk about Max.
Plays Max. I mean, it's a very memorable role. I did not remember he was in it. And then on rewatch, it's like, oh, Johnny Galecki's in this. Anne Hesh is in it later. And so, so he's creepy Max. Can we call him creepy Max? Because he is.
Yeah, he's super creepy.
And I will say this movie too, something that they do, there's a lot of red herrings throughout. Yeah. And on rewatch, it's very apparent, right? Kevin Williamson certainly wrote this script so that you would potentially expect multiple people to be the killer. And I think that's his thing. And I love that he did that. Especially, you know, when you're putting yourself in that mindset of first watching it. But yeah, so Max has a crush on Julie, you know, tale as old as time, wants to take her
Who's Jennifer Love Hewitt? You didn't mention the names.
I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer Julie Love plays Julie.
Julie James.
Julie James. And Max has a crush on her. He wants to take her out. She's dating Ray. Barry comes in. They're very mean to Max. So I guess he's not cool. They're kind of bullies. That's, you know, again, like regular high school drama.
I think, and Julie's like so nice. Like Max is totally creepy. Just like comes in. She's like doing that typical thing that girls do. Like, oh, you know, like, smiling and like talking to him.
He's being kind of aggressive, actually.
He is aggressive.
He wants to take her out. Like she has a boyfriend. She's dating Ray. Yeah. And he knows that. Max knows that.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling Max.
Max gets his comeuppance a little later, though, Ash. So,
does he? Comeuppance is a really good phrase. for his demise.
So now the four of them, so they're all best friends, Julie, Helen, Ray, Barry, they go down to a little after party. They go down to Dawson's Beach. And again, I think there were some things that Kevin Williamson threw in, right? So it's called Dawson's Beach. They go down there, the four of them. They're having a little bonfire. And this is, when they tell the story for the first time, this urban legend. Mm-hmm. This was also the same time, right, when urban legend came out and all this. So they're telling, every small town has their ghost stories.
Right.
Ash, you and I, we've got Dungarvan Hooper.
We have so many.
We have a lot. Yeah,
Headless Nun. We'll have to get into that later.
Listen to this. That Ash and I grew up in a small town in New Brunswick called Miramichi in New Brunswick, Canada. And so, there's always that folklore and those urban legends. So we're telling this urban legend about this killer who had a bloody hook. It's interesting, right? And I want to talk about this later. So remind me when we get to it, because it's a sort of chicken and the egg situation for me.
Yeah.
Because there is a moment when that hook is brought up again. And I wonder if that is why that is the weapon of choice. But I'm just throwing that out there. Let's talk about it later when we get to it.
Okay.
But they tell the story and it's very interesting because as they're telling it, Ray seems, to think this is like a true story.
He's like, I have that written down. I'm like, why is Ray so creepy telling this ghost story?
Because it's a red herring. It's a red herring, and he's a red herring in the movie.
Yeah.
Not trying to give away the ending, but I think everyone is
like the whole time they're making him look really like an outsider.
Guilty.
Number one. Yeah.
Yes.
But
also the things he says and the looks on his face and kind of the way he acts. Yes, they're definitely making him look guilty.
Yeah.
So couples separate. We learned that Helen and Barry are going. I guess Barry's a football player. He's going to the same school as Julie, and Helen's an actress, and she was going to go to New York. And then we've got Ray and Julie go off on their own. I guess they choose to sleep together for the first time on the beach.
Right on the beach, yeah.
Right on the beach, yeah. Sand.
But it's very like PG. They don't show anything. This movie is extremely PG. I mean, besides
it was rated R though.
Besides the violent kills, everything else is pretty PG.
What though? And we'll talk about that later too, the violence in it, because I have an interesting behind the scenes fact about that.
Ooh, okay. Can't wait.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. So you know what? They have their fun. They get back in their car, and they drive home down those same cliffs, those windy roads.
It's Barry's car. Barry is wasted. Like this dude,
right. Barry's
was like real aggressive, really drunk. So Freddie Prinze Jr.
the douche really well.
Yeah, he's fantastic in it.
He's so good.
But Ray is the one that drives the car.
Yeah, Ray is driving. Barry's drunk. You're correct. It's like an SUV. Julie's in the front. Helen's in the back. Ray's also drinking in the car. Whatever it is, tequila, vodka. He's just drinking it. He puts his head up the sunroof. He's being all crazy.
They're blasting the music too, which I hate.
They are blasting the music. And it's like dark and like you can't see anything.
I kind of agree that they're all annoyed because I get like sensory overload as well, like driving, especially at night. Like I can't have the radio on loud. Like I need to focus, right? So it's the stress that you feel like watching the scene is great. Like they really amp it up. I loved it on rewatch. I'm like, this is really, really good.
Really, really well. So, Ray doesn't see something in the road and hits it. And at first they think it's an animal or something, right? Like a deer or something like that. But they get out of the car, they see a rain boot and they realize that it is a person and they find that person.
Yeah.
And,
he has a tattoo.
Not looking good. Yeah, he does have a tattoo, Susie. And his face is kind of all mangled and everything. And they realize that they hit and Ray goes and checks for the pulse. He says there is none.
He doesn't look sure of himself though. He's like,
and I
don't think he knew how to check for a pulse, to be honest. He's like, what do I do?
Think so.
that guy
checked. Did he check the wrist, Ash? Is that where he checked?
Yeah, I think he checked the wrist, which, isn't the best place to check.
Yeah. and it's interesting too. So they find this guy. They've clearly hit and possibly killed him. And the girls were like, hey, we got to call the police. Like, obviously that's your first thought. And they immediately jump to no, like they'll never believe them that Ray was driving. Barry was drunk. There's vodka, tequila, whatever it was that they were drinking all over the car. And they accept pretty quickly, I'd say.
Yeah.
That, they're not going to call the police. They're just going to put that body in the water.
Yeah, carry it down. Yeah, it happens really fast. Like this movie moves.
I would need some more convincing. All right, I would want to call the police. But before they can do that, there's a car coming down, and it's Max. It's creepy Max.
Yeah.
So he stops. They're pretending that,
and Ray's like Yeah, but Ray's like, go take care of it. Or does Barry say it? I forget who tells Julie to go take care of it.
Barry says it, but Barry's off like pretending to vomit over the side of the room.
Yeah.
And Max believes this. So Max, so I guess
like, hey, Julie.
Max gets his comeuppance, but he stops. Yeah. And, is concerned, obviously, their car like looks like it hit something.
Yeah.
And they convince him that everything's good and he drives off. And then the four of them take that body down. Carry it. Dock.
Everyone gets a limb.
Yeah.
And carry it on down.
Gets a limb.
I need to say
these are steep cliffs too. They're steep cliffs.
Helen's in her
they drive the car or the body down. Actually, they don't carry it all the way down actually.
No, but they still have to
that body. No, they drive the car down.
But Helen this whole time, by the way, still has her crown on.
Oh, I know. The crown is still on. She's got Barry's
jacket. Damn crown
is on. That is an iconic look. The crown, Barry's jacket. Once they get down there, they all help carry this body to the dock, and they're just gonna dump this body into the water.
The water has it now.
Before they can do so, he's not dead. He's not. You know what? His arm reaches out and he grabs Helen's crown. That's what he wants. He grabs Helen's crown. And so they're trying to push him, and Helen, I think, is the one that like pushes him in. He grabs her crown, and the bear's like, "I'll go get it for you." Like, they're not concerned about the fact that this guy's not even dead.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm going to go down and get that crown. So Barry jumps in, goes down. Dude's not dead.
No, he's not dead.
Fighting with him.
His eyes open. His eyes open.
Very Jason-y. But
Barry's just like, wait, I have a bone to pick with that whole scene.
Please.
He goes under.
It wasn't realistic. I mean, I think we all have a lot of bones to pick with.
But he's in like the lake, or I guess it was the ocean. I don't know, like what kind of body of water was it fresh water, or was it seawater? I don't know. But he goes down and like opens his eyes. It's like bright down there. Yeah. Like it's lit underwater. I understand why they had to do it for the movie.
Yeah.
But like, dude, there's no way he would be able to go in and see and grab the crown. And
no,
see.
No, 100%.
The whole,
absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
No, there's no way. It's what, probably 3, 4 a.m. And before that too, they were like, oh, we should check his wallet to see who it is. And then Ray again is like, no, like we don't need to know or whatever. So there were a lot of, again, mistakes were made that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah. And they make a pact that they're going to take it to the grave. So never to speak of it again, and cut to a year later, So a whole year goes by. It's now the next 4th of July weekend or right before it. They're in school for a long time. All right. Because it's the 4th of July weekend and Julie's still in school. So
like summer school.
Yeah, I guess. And they're getting ready. They're all getting ready to go home for the summer. So Julie's in college, getting ready to go home for the summer. She clearly looks not well.
And there's such an obsession with like the hair, but I actually like how they did the hair, because Sarah Michelle Gellar's character Helen is obsessed with her hair, and she tells Julie like earlier, like, oh, it's all about the hair, and then when it cuts to Julie 1 year later, her hair's all like disheveled, like greasy. She does not look good.
No makeup. Greasy, but that was all done on purpose, right? Because she hasn't had a good year.
She's depressed.
Eating her alive. She's depressed. So they used the no makeup and the greasy hair to convey that in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she, she gets her bag, her roommate convinces her to go home, gets her bag, her teddy bear, and goes home to mom for the summer, I guess. So again, another kind of trope, the dead, I guess her father's dead. Again, they sort of never, they bring that up in that, and then they never talk about it again.
No.
But she goes home and we learn that she's not doing well in school. She's failed some classes. So clearly the year has not been good to Julie.
But okay, so was this a thing? I'm trying to remember back when we were in like undergrad for the first couple of years. Yeah. She's like telling her she didn't do well in school, and the mom's like, I know, I got the report card. They send the report card to the mom, like they mail it out
to the mom. No,
it's actually, it's not a HIPAA thing. It's a privacy thing. Like you're actually not allowed to do that. Like I work at a university. I'm like, you're not allowed to send the report card to the parents.
So I was thinking about that too when I was watching it. Absolutely not.
And the mom clearly opened it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a plot hole.
It wasn't on like, no. Well, there were a few plot holes, and there were some things that I'll talk about later too that they did to fix some of them. But yeah, so she's failing out of school. Her mom's like, you got a letter in the mail, and she gets this letter. And again, great scene, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this is the whole premise of this movie, is that they get these letters. And it's so great. And Julie opens that letter. There's no postmark on it. There's no return address. And it just says, I know what you did last summer. Written such a flattering. Like pretty good penmanship, I gotta say.
The handwriting, I was kind of shocked. It is, but I'm like, you could take that and like analyze, the handwriting. There's things that you can do. I'm surprised it wasn't. Yeah, forensic linguistics. I'm surprised it wasn't like cut out from a magazine. It was just like very neatly, nicely written.
It was. Yeah. Maybe they didn't have. Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, there should be like a whole another movie where they do this and they analyze it. But I mean, that's kind of been done with like the Unabomber and whatnot.
Yeah, it's true.
Obviously, this letter freaks Julie out. She goes to see her friend Helen, who works with her sister Elsa at the department store, I guess, that their parents own or something.
She did not make it in New York.
She didn't. She went, I guess, came back again. So, we're learning that everyone did not have a good year. Keeping that secret is killing them. So Helen, Julie, they go find Barry. She tells them about the letter. She's concerned about it. And she also tells them, she knows who they killed last summer because she followed up on it. We learned that his name was David Ian. His body was found in the water 3 weeks later, I guess, or it came to shore 3 weeks later.
And Barry's like, so they go to his house. His parents' house is, again, like really picturesque, with this huge veranda. Just, they're like rich kids, I guess, in Southport. But he's just like, overacting. It's fantastic. But he's just such an ass. Like, Barry's the worst, right? He tells them, he's like, looks at them. He's like, you guys should check out a mirror. You both look like shit. And I'm like, they look great. they look fantastic.
Yeah.
Barry.
No. I know. Barry sucks, but we're supposed to hate Barry in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're all thinking, right. And they're, we learned Barry and Helen had broken up, Julie and Ray had broken up. So again, kind of the year took them in different places, but they're thinking like, who could possibly have sent this letter? Who was there? Who knew what they did last summer?
Right.
And they're like, it must have been Max. I mean, Max is there. Max drove by. So they go see Max, or Barry goes and sees Max, I guess. And he's scared. He scares him, I guess. So again, it's like a year later. They're not even in high school anymore. And Barry is still bullying Max. And Max is still taking it. And Max works at a fish house as well.
Yeah. Do we think he has some anger issues? Like a little bit.
I mean, I think Barry has some anger issues. Yeah. Barry's, and again, some overacting for sure by Ryan Phillippe in this movie, but it kind of works for that character.
And he's supposed to be like really muscular and the dude's like really small. Right? But I guess he's like 18.
They all are. I know.
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr. himself, I guess, had to bulk up for this role because that
was him bulked up, everybody.
Apparently that was him bulked up. So apparently like when he first auditioned for the role, they didn't think he could do it.
Yeah.
And then he spent some time, he bulked up and he got the role.
I think like they're the antithesis of each other, right? Like Barry is really aggressive and he like verbally abuses Julie and like physically too, right? He tries to like strangle her at one point. Yeah. And then Ray's like a pansy, right? It's just like does not stand up to Barry. And that's just those are the roles, but they make it very clear. They're like little like cartoon characters almost.
They are. I think they're kind of traditional movie tropes, like high school tropes, right?
Like Archie and Reggie.
Yeah. Oh, it's so Archie and Reggie.
Veronica and Betty.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure he was inspired by that. Kevin Williamson. Yeah. So, Barry scares Max and threatens him. Max has no idea what he's talking about. We also learned that Ray did not go to New York. So Ray is now a fisherman like his dad, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's working as a fisherman. And I guess in this, I don't know, it's that scene is like not making it or something. It's so interesting to me because like where we're from and like where I live now, like those are, it's like a good job. So I found that interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Like they didn't get out of their town. Like Southport's beautiful. It's not like
I know
some crappy small town.
I know. Right. And now we're gonna have our first character meet their demise. So there's a quick short scene with Max. So as we know, Max works at a fish house. And, they use these fisherman hooks for a lot of things, I guess, to like get the ice and must be various other things. Yeah. To get into fish. I don't really know what they're using.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it makes a great weapon.
Oh my goodness.
It's a great one. She puts it in ice and Max she's going to be cooking some crabs. And unfortunately Max meets his demise with that fisherman in that hook.
And it is such a good kill. Like the dude
straight through
comes in like straight, like an uppercut with the hook, straight up. And then Max falls over the vat of the crab. Like he's putting the crab into like broil them or something. Yeah, I think the crabs.
I think he's boiling them actually.
Boiling them.
Steaming them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baltimore, we do like the steamed crabs in Maryland, but it looks like he's boiling the crabs.
Right. So
And those crabs
what's
were
the difference?
already red,
Sorry,
so
what is the difference? What are you talking about? Boiling, steaming? Same thing.
boiling, you put it in like boiling hot water, and steaming, you put it like in a thing just with like steam.
Just steam. Oh, okay. Okay,
it's
got
different.
it.
So I think so. Maybe they boiled them.
It's nuanced. It's a nuanced way of cooking.
Thing. but apparently, like those crabs were red already, so those crabs were already cooked. So get some like a little issue with the movie.
Well, they were going to have like live crabs like wriggling around.
No,
as he's putting them in there.
You're right.
But
my like fake crab.
Another bone to pick. I have a bunch of bones to pick with this movie. My other bone to pick is dude, the slicker dude, fisherman, whatever, killer, slicker dude, kills him with the hook, and then Max, it's very violent, and Max like falls over the vat of crabs, and blood's just everywhere. So all that blood's going. Those crabs are ruined. I was more upset about that.
Crabs are ruined. Yeah. But they seem to clean up the blood a lot. It's quick, you know.
Yeah, he's fast.
Fisherman's pretty good at not only killing them quickly, but also cleaning up the mess after. So Max is gone. And now so a lot of the scenes that are going to happen sort of throughout the rest of the movie are with, sometimes they're all together, but oftentimes they're these separate scenes, right? Which is often done in horror movies. Yeah. And so Barry's boxing, and he goes to he's finishing up, I guess, again, other kind of tropes, right? He's not only is he, a bully, but he's also violent and everything. And so he goes back to his locker and he goes to his car and he finds a Polaroid, of his car in his locker saying, I know. Mm-hmm. And it looks like the Polaroid was taken that day, right? Because it's of his car outside the gym. So this was so he knows that whoever did this is there. And so he's asking the guy at the front, like, did you see anyone? And he goes outside and the guy steals his car and he tries to run him over. Mm-hmm. And Barry manages to escape that, but not without having to go to the hospital, and he breaks his arm. Yeah. Yeah.
His right arm, his throwing arm. He's a quarterback. So that's right. Not so great.
Right. It is not good. And apparently he goes to the same college as Julie. Did you catch that in the movie?
Yeah, I did catch that. Yeah. But she's like, it's a big campus. Mm-hmm. I mean, Duke gets run over by a car and he survives. He just like took it.
He did. But, Fisherman's got some unique ways to kill people. And I'm assuming he was trying to kill him, but he did not kill Barry. Barry survives. So Barry's in the hospital. Julie and Helen go to see him there, and they realize that this guy's after them and they have to fight back.
They realize
because Barry got the Polaroid and something's happening to him. So they devise a plan to find out who's doing this. And so they think, they know that David Egan was the person that they killed and was washed up on shore. So they're like, it has to be a family member or a friend of David Egan, who's trying to come after them. So Julie, being, the studious person that she is, they do some research and they find out that David Egan actually had a fiance that died on that same road in a car accident the year prior. Right. So 2 years ago. And so they think about this and like, maybe he was up there trying to kill himself or something, maybe he was like still depressed about that. But they realize they need answers. So they find out his parents live in the town. So they go to David Egan's parents' house. And there they meet his sister played by Anne Hesh, Missy.
So good.
She's great. She's so great in this.
She's the best part.
Yeah, she is. She's so great. It's very Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's very good. And so, so we learned that, Missy tells them that David died last July. Their parents, their mom is at home. And again, she's kind of painting the scene that since David died, that things have not been the same for that family. So clearly that is making them, or at least Julie and Helen, feel guilty about that.
And did you clock, like, I love her whole scene. She's in like 2 scenes in the movie, Anne Heche. She's so good.
Kind of a scene stealer. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, I was like, what in the Texas Chainsaw is happening here? Like she's in the middle of nowhere at this farm with a bunch of animals and it's pretty crazy. But did you clock this when she's talking about her brother and they pan over to some of the photos of them, like on the mantle or something, and they look like real close. Like they're like kind of like kissing and what, just like for brother and sister. I was like, they're like, not that they're like kissing, but they're just like their heads are like really close. So I think they were close. That's all I'm going to say.
But another thing we learned on that visit when Helen and Julie go see Missy is that one of David's friends had come by a few months, couple weeks, I guess, after he had passed away, and his name was Billy Blue. So now they also know there's a person named Billy Blue who they could potentially talk to, who may be coming after them as well.
Sounds like a fake name. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, it does sound like a fake name.
So does Julie James. So,
all of them do.
Helen Shivers. Shivers. Helen Shivers.
Shimmers for a second.
No, it's Shivers out.
But it was actually, Helen being like the beauty queen and everything, she's actually the smart one who was the one that suggested that maybe David was up there trying to kill himself. So, she's got some smarts as well.
I love Sarah Michelle Gellar, like smoking the cigarette. They're trying to make her like edgy or something.
Yeah.
You can tell she's like never smoked a cigarette, I don't think, in her life. Like the way she's smoking it is so unnatural. It's like really interesting.
During Buffy fame too, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they were also trying to make her different than her Buffy character, but there were definitely scenes later on in the movie where she's basically Buffy.
She's just Buffy. She becomes Buffy at the end.
She does. She evolves into Buffy.
Yeah.
So Helen goes home. So now we have the scene, where she's alone. She goes home. Clearly I guess she's got an absentee father who's like watching baseball, drinking whiskey, goes upstairs, is getting ready for bed.
Wait, before I need to point out one thing.
Please.
One thing. Okay. Before she goes upstairs, she goes into the kitchen and has like a little bit of Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, yes.
Okay. This girl, she takes a sip of the Diet Coke. Well, first she opens the Diet Coke. She pours it. She pours it
in this movie.
Because it takes you out of it. She takes a sip of the Diet Coke. Well, she pours it in a glass, takes a sip of the Diet Coke, one sip. And then she leaves it there and goes up to her room. Like, she doesn't even put it away. It's like presents all over again. It's like they just leave it. So maybe her dad might be absentee.
Diet Coke, all right.
Well, why did she take the can with her or like put it back in the fridge? Like, leaves it there. And she's like going to bed. Yeah. Like, her dad might have been absentee, but she's like, kind of sloppy, like leaving all her stuff around. I just had to point that out.
But I'd like to, so Diet Coke's like, we want to be a part of this. We want to sponsor, like, we're going to sponsor this movie. And they're like, where can we put Diet Coke in here?
Yeah.
And they're
Helen's going to take one sip. Helen's going to take one sip and leave. I guess they left it on the counter for more like airtime. I don't know.
Yeah. But they probably had a contracted amount of time that it had to be there, Ash. So yeah. I think so. So Helen goes up to bed, getting ready for bed, brushing her, long hair. Mm-hmm. Elsa comes in, her sister. So they all just like
Elsa.
They live at home. Yeah. Her oldest sister, her and her dad all live there. How
old is her sister?
Elsa even makes a comment about her hair. I don't know. I'm going to guess like a few years older than her.
And they're all just living at home.
They're all living at home. And they're
so she's like, like 25, 26.
Probably. She looks like she's like in her 30s, but.
Yeah, that's true. Bridget, what's her name? Bridget something.
I can't remember her name.
She's like the girl from, wasn't she in like Billy Madison?
She was in Billy Madison.
Yeah. She was like the teacher in Billy Madison.
She had some movies in the 90s that she was a part of.
She's iconic too. Yeah. But I was questioning their ages because Helen, Sarah Michelle Gellar, when she like gets into her bed, she has like a stuffed animal.
They all have stuffed animals. Julie had one earlier too.
Like, what is happening?
They're 19. I mean, it was the year after. They're like 19 years old. Yeah.
It's like the infantilization of the young women. It's really odd.
Yeah, it is weird. So before Elsa reminds her she has to work the next day and they're like, oh, tomorrow's the 4th of July. She's going to be in the parade, but Elsa wants her to go to the department store. And before leaving though, she makes a comment about her hair, which again, some of these things were very like put in there, on purpose to like, wait, is she the killer? Is she going to do something?
But also clearly something's going to happen to the hair. Yeah, like there was a lot of foreshadowing. The sister, Elsa's like a bitch though, right? Like
she kind of is. Yeah.
Unnecessarily really mean to Helen.
He is, but I don't think you're supposed to think I don't think you're supposed to be on like Helen's side on that whole thing with Elsa, like considering what happens later in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
So Helen goes to bed, wakes up the next day and, that hair is gone. It's gone. I mean, she had like really long flowing hair and someone came in the middle of the night and chopped it off. And I guess actually before we did see that the killer was in her closet. So as she went to bed, the killer was in there, right? So we saw that earlier. So killer chose not to kill her then, fisherman killer, but did want to chop all of her hair off. So
just torment her.
Yeah. And I think back to that in the 90s, I feel like that was like that, is that worse than like the kill? Like, I feel like that was like something that really stuck with you.
What, the hair thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
you could have nightmares about that.
For sure. I definitely remember that scene. But I think, honestly, he did her a favor because that haircut was like, awesome.
It was bad. The new haircut was great. But she also wakes up and it's not just haircut. The crown is on her head too.
Oh, the crown.
The killer like cut her hair and also placed the crown on her head. So that crown is just like, that survived a lot. That crown's been through some things.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. Wakes up, haircut, crown on, goes up to the mirror, and written in lipstick or blood or something is soon, right? So I guess the killer's taunting Helen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like step 1, cut your hair off. Step 2, meet your demise. So after Helen sees the soon in the mirror, she clearly calls her friend Julie, and Julie gets in her car. She goes over there to see her. She hears something in the trunk.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So she hears some like rattling, something in the trunk. So she stops her car. She gets out and she goes back there, opens that trunk, and dear God, she sees Max's dead body with just a bunch of crabs, like
covered in crabs.
So they were alive crabs. So I guess, he took the crabs too, the killer. So not only did he remove the body, but he's like, I'll take the crabs too. And like, wasn't there a cockroach like crawling out of his mouth?
Yeah, it's really, took the crabs. I mean, he's a fisherman, so he had his own crabs. He could just dump in there. I think.
You don't think they were the ones that Max
they weren't
was
the
going
ones.
to throw
No.
These were fresh crabs that Max was going to throw in the thing. And
they were not. These were fresh crabs. He got them fresh that morning. He was a fisherman, and he's like,
that morning, put them in Julie's car.
Fresh crabs.
Dead body.
Well, these ones weren't red. These were like the fresh crabs.
Okay, fine. So they're crawling all around in her trunk. She's obviously scared and freaks out. She goes to find Helen and Barry and bring them back to the car. And so how long would that have been? Like 10 minutes? Yeah. Like, what do you think? 5 minutes? 20?
I am shocked. Well, so they open it up and nothing's in there.
No one's there. Not a crab. Nothing.
Not a residue of blood or like crab juice.
Cockroaches. No.
So that makes no sense that he cleaned all that up.
It makes no sense that the crabs would have been in there alive too. Like none of this makes sense.
This is a lot of trouble to go through for like 4 teenagers, to be honest.
So Max isn't there. She's telling Barry and Helen, like, obviously, like it happened. He was there. And so they think that someone's, they had this whole conversation that this person's watching them. And there's that iconic scene, right, in the movie that was in the trailer as well, where Julie just screams out into like the ether
and spins around.
What are you waiting for? Huh? What are you waiting for? And she spins around and then the camera comes up and it's an iconic scene.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you think of when you think of this movie. It's so good.
It is the scene. Yes. And I will talk more about that scene. And when we talk about some behind the scenes parts of this, but yeah, so now they're wondering like, who is it? They're like, is it Ray? They go find Ray. And Ray said that he also got a letter. Again, sounds kind of suspicious when he says it though.
He does like, I got one too. We never see Ray's letter though.
Yeah. No, we that's right. He never shows them a letter.
No. He just looks like incredulous. Like, I got one too.
I know.
Ray's like,
I know. Ray and
his acting is so.
It's kind of the other characters are like much bigger characters in the movie. But so they now, they're equipped with this information. Julie and Helen know that there's this Billy Blue character. So they go to the, actually Elsa's only a year older. Helen, because they go to Elsa's yearbook.
No, because it was 1992, class of 1992, and they're 97. She's like 5 years older.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, fine. Yeah. She's 5 years older. So we know Elsa's age now. Ash, we figured it out.
She's 25. They're 19.
24, 25. Yeah.
24, 25. Okay. Yeah. Definitely looks like in her 30s, but I mean, she owns her own business. She's doing okay. Elsa's doing okay.
Yeah. But she's like, okay, so they go get the yearbook and they're like, so they figure if they can get that yearbook in front of Missy, they can figure out who this Billy Blue person is. And it's smart. Yeah, that's smart, right? If he was one of his friends, he probably went to school with him.
I want more Missy, so I'm so excited.
Yeah, same here.
Let's go back to Missy.
So now we have this two separate. So, Helen's got to be in her parade. So Barry's going to go with Helen and they figure at this point that the fisherman's watching them, that he's probably going to be at the parade. So she's riding in the parade, apparently in a clam.
She's in a clam.
I did not clock that at
She's
all.
in a clam. What do you mean? She has that beautiful green dress, that like gorgeous green dress. She has her crown.
Gorgeous. Yes.
Gorgeous green dress.
The hair looks nice now.
No, the hair is like Buffy hair. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like she's like all sad about it. I'm like, your hair looks better. It's also like way less blonde. There's some continuity, I think, errors there.
Yeah, it was when she was filming Buffy.
Like she had to go because they're like, you have to because he might be there. That's why you have to go be in the parade. But I have my third bone to pick. Just like, okay, I just have a question about, because they're trying to find him in the crowd. You're like, so dudes are just out there wearing these slickers and the hats.
And they have the hats and everything. I know.
And there's so many of them that it's like a Where's Waldo? Like, where is this guy? There's so many of them. They like have mistaken identities. So like, this is something they wear in Southport. And it was a bright, sunny day.
It is not something you wear. Like on a rainy day, you would wear it like out fishing. It's definitely not something you wear.
They look really hot too. It's like you have the cape thingy, you got the like hat. You're like, and dudes are just, I'm like, you look creepy. Creepy AF.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Like, even if you didn't have a hook and were killing teenagers, like, you're still creepy. I still wouldn't want to be around you.
No, I just don't understand. If this is like a look. Is this a look in Southport?
So at the parade, Helen thinks she sees someone in a slicker, right? And so Barry goes after him. That's the wrong guy.
Which is every second man.
Actually see them. Yes, like you said. But there is someone up on the roof that Helen sees that has the fisherman hook. So the fisherman was at the parade.
Oh, but it's so good because she looks up and he does like he does like this. He like puts the hook like across his neck, across the like you're next. It's so good.
Oh yeah, it's so great. So meanwhile, Julie's off to see Missy again, with that yearbook, trying to figure out who Billy Blue is. And again, giving off very Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. She goes in there and like Missy comes out with like a knife because she's been like chopping like fish up, I guess.
Yeah.
So very ominous. So she comes out.
She has a like bloody apron too. It's like extremely Texas Chainsaw.
It's so great. But at this point, we learn that Missy tells Julie that David did kill himself. So Helen was right earlier, right? And she said, no, I know he killed himself. He left a note. And so she goes and gets this note. I guess she kept it. And it's in that exact same handwriting.
But she hands it to Julie. She hands it to Julie, this bloody note. It's like hilarious. Like, here you go with all the fish blood all over it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, Missy.
So it's so great. And so she hands a note and it says, I remember last summer. So it seems like this was the first note. So Julie,
no, it says, I'll never forget last summer.
Okay. I'll never forget last summer. All right.
Get it right, Al.
Okay. I'll never forget last summer. Apologies, everybody. I should have got that right. And so Missy took that as the suicide note, right? Like David will never forget. And so he goes up there to kill himself on the same road that his fiance died on. And Julie puts it together, like they're receiving those notes too. So whoever sent that to David also sent it to them. Yeah. So at this point, and she's saying that she saw that David had a Susie tattoo on his arm, but Missy confirms that he did not. Mm-hmm. So things are starting to unravel. The person they killed may not have been David Egan.
There's a really good exposition there too, because Julie is sitting in her car. She's like, it wasn't your brother. We get it.
Yeah, exactly.
You really need to say that.
Yeah. So who else would have been upset about Susie dying,
Yeah.
Maybe a parent?
The wheels are churning.
Yeah, they're churning. So meanwhile, we've got the pageant. So Helen's still doing the pageant. She has to go as that pageant outgoing croak queens, or what is it?
Croaker. It's the croaker queen.
Croaker queen. She has to be at the pageant, and basically, she has to be. They're in their bathing suits doing their talent. Like I don't even know.
No, but what I don't understand. She's sitting there. I've never seen a pageant where the previous winner has to sit there at the front of the stage the whole time.
Nor watching. When Helen won, there was no person sitting.
But she's watching. She's judging. She's like making like these faces. Like, what's up with this talent? Like she's very judgmental. Yeah. Like she's getting special treatment.
Yeah, she is. Helen Shivers is special, but she goes and does this. She's obviously worried because Fisherman's like after her. She saw him up on the roof. Barry's there, and he's like, "I'm going to be up on that balcony, and I'm going to like be able to watch everything." So she's looking up. Helen actually sees Fisherman coming towards Barry, and she tries to warn him. Yeah. Fisherman just kills Barry. Barry meets his demise on the balcony. Like he was all alone up there. He really should have been like in the audience, but he's all up there alone.
That was a bad call.
Barry meets his demise by the fisherman. Yes. And Helen is obviously freaking out about this. She goes into the audience. She's like, no, like he's up there. And they go up there. So they stop the test and they go up there. No Barry. No Barry. No blood. No blood. No anything. So again, like he's effective. Fisherman is effective at killing and cleaning up.
Yeah, he's all about that cleanliness, and he's real quick about it.
He is.
He must have like a side hustle business where he like cleans up crime scenes.
Yeah, I know. That's his side hustle. He's not only a fisherman, but he goes and cleans up crime scenes.
I mean, if he doesn't have it, he should start one because like he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's missing out. some wealth there, I think. The cops are like, hey, we got to get like Helen. They're going to like take her home. Not before returning the crown. So I love it. It's the same crown. It's like this crown, again, has seen some things. That crown has seen some things.
They don't get to keep the crown.
No, they take it back. A cop drives Helen home, I guess. And, we quickly learned that fisherman has set up a trap for them. So they're driving. There is a roadblock. So they're going to have to go down an alleyway.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's a shortcut.
Take this shortcut. We're going to have to go down this alley. And in that alley, there is a guy and their car is broken down. Yeah. So cops like, I'm going to go help him. Let's see what he wants.
And again, they are so used to these slickers everywhere that he sees the outfit and he's like, oh, that's just like a fisherman.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why would you be wearing it at night?
Yeah.
It's so common again in this town that you don't even bat an eye when you see a dude with a full-on raincoat and the hat thing.
It wasn't raining.
No, it wasn't raining. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Someone explain it to us.
Explain it to me.
But yeah, so that's clearly been a trap. That cop meets his demise. Now Helen's stuck in the back of the cop car. Yeah. But you know what? This is when she turns into full Buffy.
Buffy mode.
When Helen converts. This is the moment when Helen converts to Buffy, is this moment. And she just kicks that back window out of that car.
This is the best 3-minute sequence ever.
It is great. It is really good.
So good. Helen is not going out without a fight.
Badass. Yeah, she's a badass. She's not going to let him come get her. She's not going down easy. So she kicks that window out. She gets out of that car and they're near her department store. So she runs to that department store. So Fisherman's after her. She runs to the department store.
Love it.
For Elsie to let her in. Elsa eventually does let her in.
But she's annoyed about it. She's like, oh.
She is annoyed about it.
Rolling her eyes.
Fisherman's after her. Lets her in. Unfortunately, not good for Elsa because that fisherman also gets in and just guts Elsa.
I mean, does he gut her? He comes at her with the hook.
We only see the blood. We only see the blood, but we see her body getting lifted up. So
we see it getting lifted up, very Michael Myers-y. But Elsa, it's like a funny scene because Elsa just accepts her fate. She sees the hook and she just she turns her head. She accepts her fate and she just gets whacked with it or uppercutted. I don't know, but she just accepts her fate. She doesn't even fight. No hand, no defensive.
No, but apparently, I'll take this time to talk about the behind the scenes. Apparently, when they filmed this movie and people saw it, they were like, no, not enough blood. So they actually had to refilm that scene to have the blood.
Right. The splatter on the window.
Yeah. Yeah. So poor Elsa. Elsa's gone. You've got the mannequins in there, being covered up. Helen, which is great too. Again, I think used a lot in horror movies. So again, Helen's not going out without a fight. So she hoists herself up on that. What was that?
A platform, elevator.
Thing.
She hoists herself up.
It's funny. She manages to jump out and get out. She's running down the alleyway towards the parade. Again, very, nostalgic to a lot of movies. And unfortunately does not make it. The fisherman gets her in that alleyway.
And it's so loud from the parade and the fireworks that people don't hear her. No one hears her screaming. Yeah. But she, I find the men in this circuit, like I said, pansy. I don't know what the word is. I think that's the most PG word. But and other people don't put up a fight. Helen puts up a fight.
Oh, she does. The
it's
women
good.
in this movie, they're
strong,
right? I think the women, and I think Kevin Williamson writes his women very strong.
He does, yeah.
And so Helen unfortunately meets her demise. Yeah. So
cheers to Helen. Iconic horror, not final girl, but second, almost final girl.
Yeah. So now what? Barry's gone. Helen's gone. Julie does seem to figure out, I guess is it the microfilm or is it the internet that she goes searching on?
I think it's the internet. It's not, for once, it's not the microfilm.
Yeah. She finds some old clippings or something. And she realizes that Susie's father, Benjamin, is a fisherman. So she's putting two and two together, right? Yeah. She's like, maybe that's this fisherman that's after us. It's Susie's father.
I mean, who isn't a fisherman in this town, though?
Julie's not. Barry's not. Helen's not. Ray is. And yeah, I know. A lot of fishermen in this town. Benjamin's one of them, Susie's father. So Julie thinks that he might be the person who's after them. So now she goes down to the dock. She's looking for Ray at this point. So she doesn't know, I guess, that Barry and Helen are dead. She finds Ray down there at his boat. And she tells him that she thinks that Susie's father is the one who's after them, and he's still alive. So he didn't die. So this person they hit is actually Susie's father, not David Egan, didn't die and is now terrorizing them 1 year later. But
this is where he's wearing that. Is he wearing the iconic sweater? Yeah.
He's wearing the brown fisherman sweater.
Brown fisherman sweater.
Our visual clue. So Julie's run into Ray. She kind of tells him what she thinks, that it's Ben Willis, Susie's father, that's after them. And she sees the name of Ray's boat. And the name of Ray's boat, what is it, Ash?
It's gotta be Billy Blue.
Yeah, Billy Blue.
Billy Blue, which is a great name for a boat.
Billy Blue. But why? Who's Billy? Why is it blue? There's no relation to it.
Why is it Julie James? I don't know.
Billy Blue, name of Ray's boat. So Julie's putting two together. You know, she's a smart girl. It was Ray that went to go see Missy last summer. Apparently dated her too. They were sweet on each other, like they said. So.
I think Missy was missing some like social etiquette. I don't know. They were sweet.
She did say they were sweet on each other. That's what she said.
She did say that. She did say that.
So Ray tells her, right, that, yeah, he found out that it was David Egan too last summer. So he went to see Missy. But you know what? At this point, Julie's afraid of Ray. She doesn't trust him. Yeah. And she runs away. And there's a fisherman who's there to help her. Turns out that fisherman's not actually there to help her. And that fisherman is Ben Willis, tricks them on the boat. And now it's just Julie. Ray gets on the boat somehow.
No. I need to first, before we get into this, talk about this entry on the boat. Okay.
Please do.
So Julie enters the boat, the cabin, or whatever. She's very trusting of this fisherman.
Yeah, she's like, oh, like, thank you. Like, why would you get on his boat? I guess she's trying to like run away from Ray.
The reveal, it is so good. So she goes in, and it's very typical. There's like newspaper postings,
them.
And then there's pictures. There's pictures on the wall of them, like Julie, all of them from that day, like the pageant, the parade.
We know he's a Polaroid, Ash. We know he's a Polaroid,
but this didn't even look like Polaroids. Oh, they weren't.
I'm like, did you developed? No, they were developed photos. Yeah, so he had to go. He went to 1 hour.
He was busy. He was busy. He puts them on the wall. I like burst out laughing the other night watching it. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't notice this the first time. He got these photos from today and they're on his wall.
From the pageant. That was like 2 hours ago.
Again. He just killed Helen.
Like, not
she's
only
on
is
the wall.
He really good at killing, cleaning up. He also photographs it. But so he's there doing it. And he takes a photo of it, and then he goes to 1 hour photo, develops it, and then puts it on his boat.
The vantage point made no sense from the parade because he was up on the ceiling or whatever. He took a photo. He was there in the woods taking a picture of Julie. Like, what are you waiting for? Like that whole scene. It is fantastic. I mean, this guy is talented.
All right, so now Julie's on this boat with Ben. Ray managed to also get on the boat, so he takes like a little dinghy out, a little boat out, and he also gets on it
really
Ray
quickly.
Ray and Ben are like fighting it out, and then and then he hits Ray with like a. Sorry, how does Ray gets kicked off the boat again?
Ray gets kicked off the boat. He hits him with the hook. Like the hook is in play.
And it goes, but it swings. It's like a pendulum swing, correct? And it doesn't hit him off that way?
I don't know. No, he hits him later, I think, with the pendulum. I think he just like literally like backhands him. And dude like somersaults, backflips into the water. I again burst out laughing. I'm like, that is quite the hit.
Wait, but then nobody passes to the water, but then there's like ropes from the fishing boat. And he hangs on to those as he like drags on like Cape Fear.
I wrote that down like it is very Cape Fear.
And he gets back on the boat.
He's like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. We should do Cape Fear.
We should do Cape Fear. Great movie. So like meanwhile, Julie's on the boat. She gets into this like ice room to hide from him.
The ice looks really fake.
Like the ice. It's like really fake. It does not look cold. It looks very fake. But in there, she finds the body. She finds the body of Barry, Helen, Max. Are all three in there? She at least finds Helen and Barry.
Yeah, I think. And like maybe Elsa, like they're all in there. Like he transported them all back.
He's storing them, Ash. So he's like storing them in like his, I guess, with the crowd, with all the fish.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like throw some bodies in there.
They're all in there.
Additional bodies in there. Keep them cool. But yeah, so Ray gets back on. You know, there's a struggle. Ray and Ben fight it out. So yeah, Julie and Ray manage to take down Ben Willis. Before they do so, though, he's got that iconic line from the movie. And he's like, when you leave a man for dead, make sure he's really dead.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly he wasn't. he wasn't really dead.
He wasn't dead.
He wasn't dead.
Yeah.
Because of the crown situation. So Ray and Julie managed to take down Ben Willis. But not, and a little plus from that is they get his hand as well.
Yeah,
So
he gets his hand. I think he's caught up on the ropes or something. So it's kind of like his origin story. Like now he needs a hook. Because he falls into the water. I'm like, this is definitely his origin story.
Oh my God. But do you think
the whole time you're like, is he gonna, because he needs the hook. So
hot tub time machine.
It's like hot tub time machine.
Yeah.
I actually think
his own future.
He is. I was like so surprised. I don't even know, like annoyed by the amount of screaming. Like Julie James screams every like 2 seconds. Like
Helen screams a lot too.
Why do they keep screaming? It's just like you and the killer.
Was to scream, but yeah, they scream.
Yeah. You're like, there's more screaming in this than in Scream. Like I swear.
Yeah. 100%.
It's like kind of alarming. You rewatch it. You're like, okay.
It was a little out of place in some places.
Yeah.
But the movie's not over. It's not over. Ben Willis gone. We see his hand.
They find his hand. The cops find his hand with the hook. No, they find his hand with the hook. That's what it is.
Ben Willis the killer in the second one? I don't remember.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is. Okay,
yeah.
So he's still alive. Okay.
So the cops find his hand with the hook. So the hand fell off with the hook on it. And they're like, his body will show up. They always do. So they have his like hand with a hook. It's so weird.
So now, cut to 1 year later. So now Julie's all happy. Her hair's clean.
Her hair looks good.
She's wearing makeup again. She's back together with Ray. I guess they're all happy now. And she's taking a shower. She gets some mail and she's like very concerned about this, right? Because it's like a year later. It's just an invitation to a pool party. She goes back into that shower and written on the shower door because of all the steam is, I still know. Right. And so it's not over. She sees it, I still know. And then just that insane jump scare, where the fisherman jumps out of her shower door. Yeah. At her.
And that room is like real steamy. Like that's the really steamiest shower room I've ever seen.
It is. And that is, I know what you did last summer, the original 1997 version.
Fantastic. What a movie. What a movie. And we have some little behind the scenes nuggets to discuss as well. I mean, this movie has one of the best names of all time. I know we did last summer, right?
100%. Yes.
And it was actually it was adapted from a book from 1973 by Lois Duncan. So it was originally, I guess, set in like New Mexico. And I guess the author, she did like sign away the rights and everything, but she was upset. She thought that the film was like too gory and kind of like cheap thrills and screaming and all that. I guess the book, I need to go read it. It's actually really good.
No, I want to read the book.
It's more about like guilt and shame and like, kind of coming to terms with things. A lot of the plot points are still there, but there isn't like a slasher. It's not a slasher film. And we talked a little bit about casting, but I guess, so Jennifer Love Hewitt, she originally auditioned for Helen, right? But I guess she thought, so it was down to her and like Sarah Michelle Gellar and someone else, I guess, but she thought that like it didn't like feel like her. And she asked to audition for Julie. So I guess 10 minutes later, she came in, auditioned for Julie James and got it. And it was her first like leading role. And I guess for Ryan Felipe, however we pronounce it, I never get it right. Reese Witherspoon originally she turned it down. She turned down the lead.
Yeah.
And they asked her like who was the hottest guy she knew or something, the hottest actor. And she said Ryan Felipe. And so they got him to.
Yeah. Because it was
they weren't. No, they weren't. I don't think they were.
Oh, I thought they were dating.
I don't think so. But they started dating in Cruel Intentions, right? Which was later.
I thought, no, I'm pretty sure they were dating and that's why she recommended him to like help.
Well, maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but she thought he was hot. So that's what happened. And so the Freddie Prinze Jr. stuff, there's some contention in this, like if you look it up online, but I guess the director, I mean, he's done interviews. He said the director, he did not have a good experience. The director like hated him and was always, and thought like he wasn't a great actor.
Can we all just like admit that?
I mean, yeah, he did that Christmas movie a couple years ago and like, you're like, oh my God, this is so bad. But I guess like it just made the whole kind of experience like really hard for him. But Kevin Williamson in the studio like wanted him in the role. But I guess the director's done some interviews and said that he wanted Freddie. So who knows like what the actual story is, but there's some things there. So I guess the director, it said that the original person he wanted for Ray was Jeremy Sisto. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't know who that is.
Elton from Clueless. Yeah. He wanted Elton. Yeah. Which I would actually, that would have been cool.
Yeah. Elton.
Elton.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Elton from Clueless. We already talked about that iconic scene. And what are you waiting for, huh? And I guess
waiting for, huh?
But this is so good. So I guess it was a contest winner, a radio contest for a kid that won a chance to come on set and like direct a scene or something. And they wanted Jennifer Love Hewitt to spin around and say, "What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, huh?" And then they left it in, and it's like literally the most iconic part. So that's really cool. It was like a kid. Came up with that.
I know. They were like, this isn't going to work. This doesn't make any sense. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is out of place in the movie.
It is.
But it is what you think of when you think of the movie.
And all like scary movie, like the other movies, like they make fun of that so much. It's so good. And this is another little interesting one because we talked about like Max deaths is kind of, we're like, why did Max die?
Yeah,
like it's so weird.
But I guess because he was there and he could have done something. That's what I was thinking.
It was, but originally he wasn't. Originally he wasn't supposed to die. Oh. He was just like the red herring for the killer. And then a test audience like wanted more gore or something. So then they went in and reshot that. It was like the first kill.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, yeah. And like I said earlier, they reshot the Elsa as well because they wanted more gore. But to be fair, I got to say there wasn't a ton of gore in this movie.
No, there wasn't. There was a lot of screaming, not a lot of gore. Who do we think did it better? Like Sarah Michelle Gellar or Jennifer Love Hewitt in terms of the screams? Because they both screamed.
I think. Yeah. I thought she was like really good in that case.
She was better. Yeah. Her screaming.
It was a really good character.
Everything was like more believable.
Very physical too. Yeah.
And I guess like part of her like physicality, they did some of their own stunts and stuff. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar did the rope thing, and I guess it was like a real rope at first, and she had all these splinters, and they replaced it with something with like silk or something. Yeah, and the same with Freddie Prinze Jr. Like he did the boat scene apparently the first time where he takes the dinghy out. And then it was like, he almost like, got severely injured. So then they got the stunt double. So they made them do some of these things, which I thought was really interesting. And then the connection to Dawson's Creek, I guess the dock area was already built for Dawson's Creek. So all of that was the same set.
Oh, it was.
As Dawson's Creek.
It did look familiar. No, it did. Mm-hmm. Like the boathouse one.
You're like, I don't want to wait.
To be but okay, I have to talk about that one scene, the continuity issue. So the scene where Julie goes into the ice chamber of the boat. Did you know about the chamber?
I don't.
Whatever it was. So apparently, when they shot this movie, they realized there was a continuity error because she had her little like camisole and the sweater. Mm-hmm. And then halfway through the boat scenes, she doesn't have the sweater anymore. Mm-hmm. So like, like we need to like film something to show why she doesn't have the sweater. And so that's why they filmed that scene where she took her sweater off to use it as a pulley.
Right.
That ice chamber door up.
Right.
That was filmed after the fact too. And I love that because it did make sense with it.
It makes sense. I mean, watching it, you're just like, oh, they were trying to like make her look sexy or something. Like just the tank top.
I mean,
the cleavage was ample.
The cleavage was ample in this. Mm-hmm. The clothing was very much, that was a choice, right? On purpose.
Oh yeah. Like skin tight clothing and all that for sure. Yeah. All right. We are moving on to Screamometer. All right. I have to let you go first. I'm so excited to hear what your rating is.
Always go first, but yeah. All right. Okay.
How it has to be.
I thought about this. I was like,
here we go, everybody.
No, I was going to go lower than I ended up giving it, but I thought about it, and I think that there were some moments in the movie that I really enjoyed that it actually were pretty creepy. So I'm giving this one, I know you did last summer, 1997, a 5 out of 10.
Oh my goodness. I need to take a drink because that's like actually shocking to me.
You thought I was going to give it a 2. I feel like I originally had a 2 because I'm like, that's not scary. But like, no, when I thought about it and putting myself back in like 1997.
Yeah. So I'm doing it. I am diverging from you today like crazy. I was going to give it a 1, not going to lie. Cause I'm like, this is funny. It's like not even on. It's so good. I gave it a 2.
The scene itself was creepy.
That's the scene for sure. I gave it a 2. I still think it's iconic. I love this movie. I really, really, really enjoyed it on rewatch. It's not scary really to me, but it's a good movie. It's like really good. They kind of got the actors like at the right time. Like everyone was like peak, like I said before, like peak 90s. And the story was actually good. This one, the story was good. Some of the sequels, like no. But this one, the story was good. It was like a kind of like an onion and a whodunit. And I really enjoyed it. So, but it's a 2 out of 10 on the Screamometer for me.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We differed. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever given higher than you. So there you go.
All right. It is time for Sip and Tell, where we discuss our personal experiences related to the content of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Do you have anything? What have you got for me?
Yeah, I've got two sip and tells. One I sort of alluded to earlier, but let me divulge a little more. The crabs. Let me just say, so I moved to Baltimore recently. I love this city. You know, something that we're definitely known for here in Maryland and in Baltimore are steamed crabs.
Crabs.
So all those crab scenes, you know, they really spoke to me. They really did. And again, I think, you know, the one where Max dies and the crabs are red already, like they're already cooked. And like you pointed out, the blue ones in the back of in the trunk, they were not. So yeah, the crab part of it, the whole fisherman town thing, that spoke to me. You know, I think I live in a harbor town as well. So
do you think that the crabs in North Carolina, I mean, Baltimore crabs, by the way, are like the best crabs I've ever had in my entire life. The crab cakes.
If you've never been to like a crab house, you have to go. You've got to, like, the crab cakes obviously are amazing too, but
Nick's Fish House is amazing.
Nick's Fish House in Baltimore, amazing.
Yeah.
LP steamers as well, amazing. And you go and you order a bunch of crabs and they steam them and they just place them on your table and you just like dig it.
Just hack away. It's like so fun.
Such a fun experience.
Yeah. And those crabs are good, like especially the in-season ones, because we have the blue crab ones down here in Florida, and they're like just okay. They're just it's like a poor man's Baltimore crab. You know what I mean? Like
it is.
Baltimore,
they don't do them like here anywhere else.
No, crab cakes and football, right? That's what Baltimore. That's what Maryland's known for. All right, what's your other one?
Okay, my other one, and you remember this. I think we've talked about this on a prior one, but. What was it? It must have been the year this movie came out. It must have been 1997. And we went out on Halloween with our best friends and we all dressed up as the 5 psychopathic killers. And I was the fisherman.
I feel like
we had a slicker, I guess. I bought one. I don't know, but I wore the slicker and the hat and
the raincoat.
But the best was like, I made a makeshift. I did not go buy like a hook.
Yes.
I need to tell everyone how I made my hook. All right. I made a makeshift one. I took a coat hanger. So, you know, coat hangers have that curve on them.
I remember this.
It's ridiculous, everybody. I covered it in aluminum foil and I carried that thing while trick-or-treating the whole night. I was dressed in my slicker and I was carrying the top part of a coat hanger covered in foil. And
how did you carry your pillowcase?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You one-handed it? You one-handed it and had the hook in the other?
Yeah, I think I had the hook in one hand.
You were really committed.
It was difficult. Let me just say this. If you're going to dress as the fisherman for Halloween, like tread lightly because it's difficult because you only have one hand free.
But you didn't even so where we grew up, there's quite a distance between the houses. It's not like this house, that house. So you were really committed the whole time. Not do it. You could have set it down. You could have hooked it on your slicker.
I don't know. I was in character the whole time. I think I was. I committed. You know what? So I take my costume seriously, and you know that.
So I feel like you drew the short straw because nobody really wanted to be. We were like, who could the fifth one be? Nobody wants the slicker.
No one wanted the slicker.
You want Michael Myers. Who was I? Oh, I was the Scream. We've already talked about that.
You also made your own.
I made my own mask. We had the Freddy Myers.
Some was Freddy Krueger. Someone was the Scream guy. Yeah. I was in that movie just came out. So I was the most recent slasher.
People were like, what are you supposed to be?
Who was the fifth one?
I don't know. Was it Chucky?
There's 5 of us.
Did we have Chucky?
I feel like we would not have. No, it was Jason. Obviously.
Jason. Obviously. Yes, Jason.
We would not have done Chucky. No. I have strong feelings about Chucky.
Strong feelings.
And they're not
look, we're talking about this all these years later. So it was iconic in our own right. Okay. Those are good. I have a great one. And I thought of this kind of pretty late preparing for the episode, but I actually experienced that scene that Julie experienced at the end of the movie with the steam room. Okay. So I just moved in to my place here in Tampa. So it was I don't know, must have been the first time I was taking a shower, I guess, in the bathroom. Yeah. And so I took a shower, I come out and I guess it's steamy and the mirror's all steamed up and I jumped. There was something written on, and I was home alone. I was home alone.
This movie too.
Yeah. And I come out of the shower and it's all steamy. The mirror steamed and there's something written on there and I jumped. I was like, oh, and you know what it said?
I know what it said.
It did not say I still know. It said, "Happy birthday, Michaela." happy 25th birthday, Michaela. So the person that lived in this place before was named Michaela, and it was her 25th birthday. And I think I met this person like way later. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this on the podcast, but whatever. She had a great 25th
Michaela,
birthday.
Do you remember your 25th birthday?
Do you remember Michaela?
And who wrote happy 25th birthday on?
I think she like had a party, or maybe she had like a roommate. She must have had like a party.
You have to do it when someone had to shower in there and make it steamy and write that in.
No, that's true. I don't know who did it. I don't know who did it. A boyfriend. I don't know. I don't know Michaela, but I think I did like meet her one time and I was like, is your name Michaela? And she was like, yeah, like totally freaked out. I'm like, well, I know that.
And you're 25. I know you're Michaela and you're 25.
I know you recently turned 25. Celebrated a birthday. And I will say it took me forever to get that thing off too. Like it doesn't just come off. Like it's hard to get that off. You really got to like put some elbow grease into it. It took a while.
Like, was it still there? You're like
weeks.
Like, it's just part of it now. Every time you shower, you remember
Michaela.
25 last year.
Yeah, it was a few weeks, but yeah, that actually happened to me, and it was quite terrifying. So maybe I should raise my my score, because when I experienced that, it was pretty scary.
The ending of that movie gives it a good score, I think.
Yeah, but they just in the sequels, that was all a dream sequence, right? So the killer comes out, but it wasn't even real. But yeah, that's my sip and tell. All right, it is time for Sips and Scares, where we discuss the scariest parts of the movie. There were a few. I mean, you have more than me, I think, but there were definitely a few that were really, stand out. I think, for me, the first one was when he grabs her crown underwater.
Yeah.
Like he grabs her crown, not even underwater, he grabs it above water. Yeah. That was like the first kind of scare. Yeah. We talked about the alleyway, right? So that whole scene, that whole setup in the scene, that actually is why I give it a 2.
It was great.
That was good.
It was great. It was really good.
And it's eerie. She's like trapped in it. She can't get out, or you think she can't get out, but then she's like goes Buffy mode. That was actually scary. And I Missy's whole farm, the whole vibes of that, I loved it. I thought it was creepy. I mean, that was just fantastic. What about you? What are your top scares?
Well, speaking of Missy, I think the top one was when Missy comes up to the car. It was like really creepy. That whole scene. And it's, again, that's been ripped off. We'll talk about it in cliches and ripoffs. But when Missy comes up to the car, that was very
scary. Up. She runs out of the house like a bat out of hell. She runs up and she's like, hey.
But it's so good. I thought that was very effective.
That was good.
And then obviously the jump scare at the end. I thought that was brilliant. Mm-hmm. And you're not necessarily expecting it. Yeah. Because there weren't a ton of like jump scares in the movie. Right. So they added them at the end. I loved the jump scare at the end. I think Max's body in the crabs, that was pretty shocking. The cockroach crawling out of his mouth, that was pretty good. I had the same as you, when not David, even when Ben Willis takes the crown. You weren't expecting that because we all thought he was dead. Yeah, it's like a jump scare. So there were definitely some jump scares. The mood of the movie at the beginning, like the cliffs, the road, like that, they set the tone so well that I loved that part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I definitely agree with that. There's some legitimate, like vibey scares, vibey mood as well. All right, we are moving on to cliches and ripoffs. So what are the ones in this movie? And there are
a lot.
Ample.
There are ample. So many.
So many. I like started off,
ripped off, but ones that ripped off it. Like, all right, Halloween.
Yeah.
So when Helen is running up to Elsa at the department store and the fisherman's behind her, and again, I know that's been done so many times, but clearly it was a nod to the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis going up to the house and Michael Myers running after her.
Even with the keys were on the other side of the door this time. Elsa had to find the keys and she had to find the correct one.
Yes.
She's like, let me in. Yeah. I mean, she could have like outsmarted her and like hid behind something, maybe outsmarted him and hid behind something.
Yeah.
But the other thing that was very Halloween, I guess every like iconic horror movie villain, this dude, he's a grown ass man. Whatever, he's like 50 some, 60.
Ben Willis. Yeah.
Yeah. And does not run to catch up with them. He walks. He like walks like Michael Myers.
He is. Yeah. He's got a Michael Myers. Yeah.
Walk. Yeah. He definitely walks. That was kind of a cliche, I guess. We talked about Scream. I mean, this is like, I call it like Scream Light, right? And Kevin Williamson wrote Scream.
Both. Yeah, it is Scream Light.
But it's like a poor man's Scream. Like Scream's better. But the whodunit, just like the slasher, like the number, like kill by numbers, that whole thing is definitely Scream. The other one with the Halloween was the closet. I mean, the closet just pops up again when he's hanging out.
Horror movie. I think there's so many horror movies that do the closet.
Yeah.
So many.
And we talked about Texas Chainsaw. Like Missy's whole thing was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like she was like literally dressed like the dude.
She was.
She didn't have a chainsaw. She had a knife, but like a bloody knife. But that was very Texas Chainsaw. And then I actually thought the opening scene, like that drone shot over the mountain road, I thought that was very The Shining, the opening of The Shining.
Oh, yeah.
When they're driving up.
That was like The Shining.
So I thought they were like paying homage to The Shining. And I loved it.
He does that because Kevin Williamson does that a lot in a lot of his things, right? But the so now the end, I mean, the jump scare that I loved, I mean, very Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, absolutely.
It was very Nightmare on Elm Street.
This one was I thought it was even better, this one, because it came out at you. Imagine watching that. We did watch it in the theater.
No, we did. And it was terrifying.
It jumped out at you.
It was like, I'm saying that alone gets this movie, like, it brings it up a notch. I jumped. I forgot about that. And I jumped. When I rewatched it.
Yeah. It wasn't like Paranormal Activity where I like lost it when she threw Micah at the screen. But this was pretty good for sure.
So great. And then I think a lot of movies since then have ripped it off as well. And so like, I think Final Destination was just sort of another version of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they get all the people alone, the interesting ways that they die. Thanksgiving is basically the where they took the kills up 100.
Oh my goodness. We're doing it this year.
Thanksgiving is this movie and I love it. It's like, they're like, okay, what other holiday? Like you guys said 4th of July, we're going to take Thanksgiving, but we are going to kill these people in the most insane way and have them be insanely gory.
Scalp them, cut them in half.
So insane. And then Smile. So the scene where Anne Hesh comes up to the car door. I mean, that was clearly like Smile did that as well. Smile did it probably a little bit better. But Smile completely ripped off. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
All right, it is time for alternate endings. Drum roll, as always.
Tell me there are.
We have one. Yes. And I'm going to tell you about it, and you can go watch it on YouTube. Just type in 1997. I Know You Did Last Summer. There's an alternate ending. And thank goodness they went with the ending. They went with the jump scare. So I guess they filmed this one and they did it. They showed it to test audiences and they wanted something more. So they went and refilmed the one that we saw. So the original ending, this was such of its time, right? So like 1997, right? Those of us that were like in high school in 1997, think about like instant messaging, think about like your computers, right? You're on AOL. So
ICQ.
ICQ, all that stuff. So basically, it's the 1 year later, Julie's in her dorm room online talking. She's not talking on the phone to Ray. She's online chatting with Ray, being like, love you, miss you, whatever. And then her roommate comes in and gives her that letter. She's like freaked out, right? Like in the original. And then she opens it. It's just a pool party. And then she's like, oh, so there's that sense of relief. And then she gets an email or like an instant message request. And she's like, zooms in on it and she's like all scared. And she clicks accept and it says, I know what you did last summer, ... And then it ends.
Oh, it doesn't say I still know. It says
no, it doesn't.
Summer, ...
It doesn't say I still know. And people were like, it should have said like I still know, but it didn't. It said I know what you did last summer, ... So you can go look this up. I guess they showed that and then it just ends. It like goes to black. So eerie for sure, but it doesn't have the jump scare. So they showed this to people and they wanted something a little more eerie. And so I like that they did the I still know on the mirror. That's awesome.
No,
and then the jump scare.
Good. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, and it really added to the scares of the movie. So I loved it.
All right, it's time for the villain. And I think we have some things to talk about. Like who was the villain in this movie? Besides Freddie Prinze's acting, right? And maybe his spiky hair. Like who was the villain? Because that was bad.
He just so concerned. So concerned. Well, I thought about this. I mean, the villain, certainly it's two villains in my mind. Okay. It is Barry and Ray because they don't let the girls call the cops. And had they done that, none of that probably would have happened. Ben Willis would not have come after them. So I'm going to say it's two. I think Barry and Ray are the villains of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Barry's kind of the obvious villain, I guess, in it. I have to say Ray, because he was so annoying, like not sticking up for Julie and not, like not standing up to his friend. He didn't really like protect anybody till the end. So he was definitely very villainous.
Shady. Like
he was really shady. And he went to see Missy. He lied to Julie. Like dude was shady. Yeah,
he was shady.
I will say not the villain, but just the heroine, Missy. I love Missy. I thought she was the best. I thought her character was great. She was like a scene stealer. The late great Anne Heche. I mean, she was just really, really good in that. And again, another thing with these like 90s, where were the parents? Like there's no parents.
It's like
there's no
I mean, it was always like a single. I think a lot of them were like single because Ray's. Let's go through it. Okay. Ray's dad was dead. They don't out Ray. He never knew his dad, so he was a single mom. Julie's dad was dead, so she was also raised by a single mom.
Yeah, dead parent. Dead parent.
Yeah, dead parent.
Helen had a sister. I don't think she had a mom.
Sister and no mom, but the father who ignored them and drank whiskey and watched baseball.
Right.
I don't know about Barry's parents. But yeah, they were all like from single family homes.
I think they were like at the country club or something, and because he was like the star quarterback, and they were at like the country club. So the only good parent was Ben Willis. He was avenging his daughter, right? He was the only good parent.
Ben Willis was the best parent in this movie.
He was a devoted parent. He was seeking vengeance for his daughter. So I mean, although he killed that dude. He killed David Egan.
The guy in the woods that David heard at the beginning. Definitely killed him.
Yeah.
And then killed a lot of people after that.
Killed a lot of people.
They tried to kill him. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of murky with the villain, but
he's a sympathetic character. You kind of sympathize with him.
That's true. All right. It is time for sips and simmering questions. So I have one for you. Actually, this one's coming this week. This one's coming from me. I have a question for you. I have two questions. Everybody. This is coming from Affinity Ashley. Yeah, I have two questions. Okay, number one, and we kind of already touched on this from our sip and tell or Halloween experience, but in terms of like horror movie villains, where does the slicker dude? I don't know what to call him because he didn't have a name. It's the fisherman? The fisherman?
Call him the fisherman, I think.
Okay, well, did you just make that up, or is that like what people say?
That's what I call him.
It's like I know what you did last summer guy.
I think we call him the fisherman.
I call him slicker man or like slicker dude. Like I think that's better.
Listen, what do you call him? I call him the fisherman.
I call him slicker dude. The slicker man. Okay, so my question is this: in terms of the horror movie villains, where does he rank for you?
Well, I think we know because
tell me.
Well, I got left with the worst one. Okay, he is below Michael Jason.
Like where does he stand with like Chucky?
But he's above Chucky. Okay,
he's above Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's above Chucky.
You think Slicker Dude is more iconic than Chucky?
Well, I just don't really like Chucky. So this is a personal thing.
Personal vendetta.
My feelings about Chucky are so strong that I will put the slicker man, fisherman, aka Ben Willis, above him.
Okay. All right. He does come back. Like, dude is resilient. Like, he loses his hand.
I forgot that he comes back.
He comes back in the second one. Yeah.
I forgot.
And they did like a TV series. Like, there's another one. Like, there's just so many of these. Ben Willis is not giving up. He is out for blood with these teenagers. All right. So he bottom of the barrel, but about Chucky. Fair enough. Okay. Here's my other question. And I've thought about this and it's such a cliche, and I didn't mention it in cliches, so I wanted to talk about it right now.
Okay.
His weapon is the hook, right? Michael is the knife. Jason.
Sharp.
Oh, it's real sharp. Yeah, it's real sharp. And it looks kind of heavy too. Jason has the machete, like all these things. He kills the cop in the alleyway and then he wipes the blood. What is with the wiping of the blood? Why do they wipe the blade? Because like, are they concerned? Like, what's the concern with the blood? Like, it's going to mix with the other person. They're going to kill the other person anyway. Like, they're really concerned about the hygiene. Like, so
I think it's just a visual thing, Ash. I don't think they're concerned about hygiene.
Well, I don't know. I'm just like, why do they wipe it? Why do they wipe the blood? In Scream, they did it too. They always wipe the blood.
Maybe it's like easier. Maybe it's like slippery with the blood, so it's like it's difficult to hold on, or it gets on men. Maybe it's more of a cleanliness thing for the fishermen.
See, I thought it was just like a continuity thing. I'm like, do they just do that because they don't want to like replicate the amount of blood on the knife?
Clear.
Oh, yeah, in the movie.
Clear later. Yeah.
Listeners, let us know. Like, why every single movie does this? The killer like wipes it off, and they do it like very like methodically, like very obvious. They like show the next victim. I'm wiping this clean because you're next. Like, I don't know. It's just really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and where did that begin? I think it began in like Halloween, right? When he would do it, he would wipe the blade.
Did he wipe the blade?
Yeah, he would wipe the blade.
But Michael would use like the same thing. Like he would use like what was at the house, right? He would like take a knife that was at the house.
Whatever's there. Well, they all had those big butcher knives. Like if you have a butcher knife, like that's your own fault.
You're just
like Michael's going to use it. All right. Well, that's going to do it for episode 20. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Thank you so much for joining us and listening today. Join us next time as we sip on more themed cocktails and discuss the good, the bad, and the truly terrifying of our favorite horror movies. Cheers.
Cheers.